the Kirk Picard thing to me is wrapped up in the original series Next Generation thing, and for me personally, it's a head and heart kind of choice because I grew up with the original series, so I have an affection for that show that is just that no other Star Trek show and many other TV shows is going to have for me. So my heart really loves Kirk. Would love to be, one of Kirk's crewmen as long as I wasn't wearing a red shirt, that sort of thing. But I think that on balance, not to cheese off the original series people, but sort of pound for pound, Next Generation really was a more polished and better series for a longer period of time, and Picard is a character with a bit more depth, and so I think Picard is actually probably better, and I think the Next Generation is probably better, but I still love Kirk the most. I still love the original series the most, despite that. That has surprisingly not really come up that much. I was kind of all steeled for that to be what I was going to get constantly once I went out to start talking about the Star Wars book. But there's been so much excitement around Star Wars that it hasn't really come up that much. And it's kind of the same answer, honestly, because Star Wars came out, which I write about in the book, came out when I was 11, and just kind of affected me personally in all kinds of profound ways. And it just sits in my heart in a way that no other movie does or can. And I was a fan of Star Trek since I was a kid too, as I mentioned, but not quite. It didn't have quite the same impact on me personally that Star Wars did. So it's just closer to me in that way than Star Trek is. The idea that Lucas perpetuated, that he came up with this mammoth screenplay and just kind of plucked out the middle part of it to be the first movie, to be what we now know as Episode 4. It didn't really happen that way, and I go into that in my discussion. I go into it in the book, but it really developed in a way that's a bit more organic than that, and there was not a master plan from the outset. There was an idea and then some sort of breadcrumbs that he was able to string together later into the narrative that we have.